Internet, good morning. My name is Steve, aka Magnitude. Welcome to a story that I want to tell you and that happened to me in my life. Now, if you don't follow me on Twitter, which I highly recommend because every now and again I post a quality joke that may or may not brighten the quality of your day to the point where it is no longer worth it for you to jump off the roof of your building. Just go ahead, follow me on Twitter, and every now and again, like I said, maybe 3:30 rolls around, you're like 11 customers in a row that are just being absolute pieces of shit to you, and then you go on the phone and you're scrolling and you go, wow, that tweet by Steve was so funny, I am not going to drive my car into the lake tonight. So, you know, maybe I can help stave off that impending thoughts of ending your life. Those aren't anything that I'm projecting onto you at all, not in the slightest. Let me tell you guys about the time that I was almost robbed because it happened on fucking Sunday. So today's Wednesday, and Sunday night at about, I don't know, 8 o'clock or so at night, so just as about dusk is rolling around, my wife and I are home, and we're sitting down, and we're just kind of hanging out in the living room. You know, no big deal. The dogs are there. We're watching probably Brooklyn Nine-Nine because I was so happy that show came back. I had to watch the whole thing again, and I'm making my way through that. Show is fantastic. It's well written, well directed. That's not the point. The point is, then all of a sudden my dog jumps onto my couch, starts looking out the window. Now, for those of you unaware, my wife and I own a business out of our basement. That sounded very creepy. Let me elaborate. We own a children's entertainment business where we dress up as, you know, fictional characters and go to children's birthday parties and, you know, entertainment. We do a lot of charity work. That's the crux of this. We do a lot of work with, you know, St. Jude Children's Hospital, you know, Make-A-Wish, stuff like that. We do a lot of charity work. So a lot of times small businesses will contact us and they'll want to hire us, but we won't charge them because we know it's like being a small business. So, you know, can mutually benefit each other, and we know how, you know, thin budgets are. A few months ago we did, and I'm not even going to call it an event. I'm going to call it, I don't even know. But I don't want to give away too many details because I don't want to out the people involved. Essentially, we were called at a hospital. There was his family, and one of the parents wanted to take the kids. I'm trying not to use pronouns here to try to make it as, you know, neutral as possible, so no one, you know, I don't want to attract any attention to this family. One of the parents, they wanted to take their kids to Disney, but they were not going to make it. They were quite sick, so we went and showed up to the hospital. We were there for like 3 hours. We had like 7 of us, and we just had like a little Disney party in the room for the kids, so this family could enjoy a, you know, Disney type of environment before that particular parent passed away. It was horribly sad, but you know, obviously we, you know, those kind of things, we don't charge for that at all. That'd be like a crime. We volunteer a lot of our time, is what I'm saying. It is also a business, so we do make money off of this, don't get me wrong. But we also do a lot of charity work, and we do a lot of non-profit work as well. So we run a business out of our basement. So on weekends, we generally have a lot of performers coming in to our basement with a basement code, and going into the basement and changing out of their costume and, you know, all that stuff, and then leaving. So a vehicle pulls up. It's a white SUV. They pull up. Now, one of our managers has a white SUV, so we thought, nah, okay, that's fine. But they left the car running with music pretty loud, which alerted one of our neighbors. We thought that was kind of strange. But again, we didn't really think anything of it because that's just, you know, in and out, right? So then, all of a sudden, my dog Broly, my golden retriever, starts to bark. And he only barks at people he doesn't know when it gets close to nighttime. If he knows who you are and it's nighttime, he still won't bark at you because he's seen you, he's known you before. So like, that's really odd. So we look out, and there's this dude who's right up at our pin pad going to punch some numbers in like he'd been there before. Dog starts barking, alerts the dog, alerts the guy, alerts us. My wife looks out the window and sees a dude who is now horrified to see that people were home, and he books it the fuck out of it. He runs. He was in a camo hoodie, camo pants. He runs, gets in his car, and drives away before I can even get a plate number. So I go outside and I look, and sure enough, you know, the pin pad was up. This whole thing was maybe 25 seconds, which means this had to have happened before. It had to be somebody who knew the code. Had to have happened before because you don't, and it had to be somebody local. Because in my mind, I'm going, you don't just go pull up to a house and immediately make a beeline for the code reader on a garage unless three things are true. One, you know the code. Two, you are taking the chance that nobody is home. And three, you had to have been there recently to know that nobody is home, because you wouldn't come from 40 minutes away on a hope that nobody's home. So you had to, well, okay, so I guess technically two things. I don't know why I said three. So one, you have to have known the code of the garage, or else you would not have gone over there immediately. And two, you had, now, okay, three things. Or two, you had to be sure nobody's home, and three, you have to be local. Again, I just assume you have to be local because you're not going to drive from 40 minutes away to pull up immediately and not check nobody's home. Because if you did come from a far away and you got intel that we weren't home, by the time you got there, that could have changed. Am I making sense to you? Anyway. Obviously that we were home because this particular fucking idiot. So my car is right in front of the garage door. He had to walk around my car to get to the pin pad to start putting the pin number into the garage door. So, the rest I am going to, this is all accusations, all speculation. We don't have a suspect. There's nobody's been charged yet. But I did learn a lot of information about what had happened after the fact, and I had called the police station, left 2 messages, and have not yet had anyone get back to me. So I'm kind of assuming they're not investigating this anymore. Obviously, cops will say, go to the police station. They've closed. I'm going there tomorrow. So I'll just let you guys know what we saw and then what we know. So I'm not going to use any names at all. So what my wife saw was a gentleman with a thinner beard than mine, weak facial hair game, in a camo hoodie and camo pants and a red and black hat. Now, I am going to use fake names, and I'm going to fucking try my best to keep up with those fake names to protect the identities of innocent people. Full disclosure, we're like 99% sure this is the person, but obviously we could be wrong. So that's why I don't want to show any photos or anything like that, because we could be wrong, and I don't want to out anyone who's innocent, no matter how guilty they may look. So we have this particular neighbor. We will call her Jasmine, and Jasmine has a sister, and that sister has a boyfriend. We will call him Daryl. So Daryl was over Jasmine's house. Let me back up. We're outside after I've called the cops. It's been about 15 minutes. We've called the cops, and I'm now waiting for the cop to show up. So my neighbor, Jasmine, walks out, and I go, hey, just kind of off the cuff, hey, do you know anybody with a white SUV? And then Jasmine goes, yeah, my sister and her boyfriend have a white SUV. And I was like, oh, man, what does your sister's boyfriend look like? Because I've never seen it before. So she shows me and my wife photos, and my wife goes, that's the guy. Now, obviously, it was dark out, wearing camo, so, you know. He was a white guy with scruffy hair, and he had a camo hoodie and camo pants and a hat on. So, you know, maybe, you know, my wife was jumping to some conclusions. But, you know, she's still kind of spooked. But she's pretty sure her and him kind of, they crossed, their gazes met as he was leaving. So she's pretty sure that that's who she saw. But obviously that's just, you know, that's just an emotional reaction. Maybe, who knows, could have been the first person she saw. I just thought that was the guy because, you know, she was kind of spooked about it. You know, so I was like, okay, what kind of car does he have? And sure enough, white SUV. Now she pulls up, what is it? Daryl's Instagram, and that same day, Daryl had posted a photo of himself in camo hoodie and camo pants. So, what coincidences? According to Jasmine, I'm trying so not to use her names. According to Jasmine, Daryl was at the house. Was at Jasmine's house, our neighbor, about an hour and a half before that had happened. So, Jasmine called up her sister, and her sister says, no, Daryl has, once Daryl got home originally, he had never left. So that is what the sister said. Fine, whatever. So, night one, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so Daryl was over, didn't see anybody in the window for an hour and a half, and decided to come back and try to rob us. It doesn't explain how he got the code, because at first we were blaming kind of the new guy that we hired. Because the guy, Daryl made I'm going to use, again, I'm not accusing this particular gentleman. I just highly think that it is him. So in my hypotheticals, I'm going to just kind of use that name Daryl, because it's just easy to identify than, you know, it's easier for me to say than every time saying the guy we think it is. So I think it's Daryl, and but I'm not accusing Daryl. I just think it is. Kind of accusing Daryl. Whatever. So Daryl made a beeline to the garage code reader. They made him input the code, which means he had known the code. Now I know my wife has been, you know, she's very friendly, and she's starting to meet these new neighbors. And I know on at least one occasion she has shown the neighbors the basement, which means she had to go through the garage. Now I'm not saying that Jasmine's sister was peeking in as my wife put the code in and then told her boyfriend Daryl the code. I'm not saying that. I'm just heavily implying that's plausible. It's possible that's how we got it. So, then that night happens, and again, all I have are those coincidences. He's wearing the same outfit, he had the same kind of car. He knew we wouldn't, he assumed we wouldn't be home because he was there an hour and a half ago, and I guess no cars pulled up, left, and didn't see anybody in the windows. Sure, so the next day, I learned a few things from another neighbor. I'm going to call her Meredith. So Meredith was talking to my wife, and Meredith was saying that she has seen Daryl leave our garage a few times with stuff after my wife had left the house. Now, I must put this disclaimer that Meredith is older and often smells like alcohol. So I wouldn't say Meredith is the most reliable source, but I'm also not calling her a liar, nor am I calling her a drunk. I'm just telling you what I know. I'm trying to remain as neutral as possible throughout this entire situation as I can. Why did nobody call the police? I assumed because since we had people going in and out of our garage on a regular basis on the weekends, she just kind of assumed that this was a guy that worked for us. Also learned from Meredith that a car frequently goes up and down the street a few times a day as if to be casing our house. And according to Meredith, slows down and parks in front of our house for a few minutes and sees if anyone's home or not. So that's what Meredith says. Again, not taking this as fact. So if you Google that particular gentleman, Daryl's name, in the town that I live in, you will get a lot of police reports. He's been arrested before, and one for burglary, a few other things. So not looking good for our buddy Daryl. I also learned that that Jasmine's sister works close to our house and goes by our house every day for her job, and would know if we are not home in the morning or not. I guess I would imagine also over the course of the day, because she's got to drive by to get there, and then according to Meredith, her job takes her past our house a few times over the course of the day. So again, I don't know if I'm going to believe what Meredith is saying, but she's outside a lot, and that's that. So we got a break in the case when another neighbor of ours, I'm going to call him Jefferson. When we asked Jefferson if he has any cameras, we asked a couple of our neighbors if they have any cameras, and Jefferson's like, yeah, I got motion sensing cameras. So if a particular thief came into my driveway to turn around, I'd get him. Sure enough, the white SUV on video pulling into the driveway, pulling back out, and leaving. It's only like 14 seconds of footage, but it corroborates the story that there was a white SUV that pulled in front of our house trying to rob us while we were home. I don't know where else this is going to go. As the time that I'm telling this, like I said, I've contacted the police a few times. They have not gotten back to me after the initial time they were here, so I'm going to have to go on the petition tomorrow. I think I know who it is, obviously. I think it was Daryl. Again, I think I know who it was. I'm not claiming I know who it was. I'm just giving what I know and details of what I know. But all I know is that there's somebody out there who has been continuously... because it was a methodical process. Goes up in front of our house immediately. Oh, also the fact that the so the car was still running. He was playing loud music, which alerted our neighbor Jefferson anyway. So he saw the back end of that because Jefferson's like, who the fuck is this piece of shit who is playing loud music at 8 o'clock at night on a Sunday night? I guess technically a weeknight going into Monday. So he came out, he was watching out of his door, and he saw the back end. He saw a man in camo running and going into his house. My theory is that he left the car running with loud music to disguise the sound of our garage going up, so neighbors couldn't hear the sound of a garage going up. That is what I imagine. But definitely left the car running because if you're a thief, you leave the car running if you know how to get in and out quickly. You don't, if you are unsure of what's going on, you're going to turn the car off because you don't know how long you're going to be there. So this is my all-encompassing theory that Daryl has been breaking into our house with the help of his girlfriend. Again, this is only my theory. Daryl's been breaking into the house with the help of his girlfriend who got the code by watching my wife. And they've been taking small things from us on a I'm not gonna say on a regular basis, but a few times to sell for drugs because Daryl has a few drug convictions if you just look them up. So we definitely been having things go missing, and we do have cameras set up, but they're connected to the Wi-Fi. Every so often my internet like surges and goes out and the cameras don't reconnect, so it takes a few days for me to realize, and when I go to check on them I go, oh shit, they have been off for 4 days, so they don't auto reconnect. So I got new cameras in the way. So that is my working theory, and they've been slowly taking, a speaker here and there. A lot of our makeup palettes are missing, so I assume those are probably just gifts for the girlfriend. So right now that's what that is. My wife is on edge now because anytime she sees a car pull up, she's thinking, looking out like it might be that guy coming back. We're getting cameras installed. I'm not worried about it anymore. I don't think anything's gonna happen now, but I just talked for 17 minutes about a guy who tried to rob our house. So if you watched all that, that's weird that you did that. But again, that's just what's been going on in my life. And we had a potential robbery that we thwarted because my dog Broly is a fucking great guard dog. He barks people he doesn't recognize, and thwarted a potential robbery. That's all I got, really. I'm gonna edit this, throw some music in the background, make it a little more pleasant to listen to. But other than that, it's been a day. It's been a day. It's Wednesday. I don't know what day you're watching this on. Might be watching on a Sunday as well. But I don't know. I'll update if anything happens. I just wanted to tell that story, and I wanted to be sure that I was as non-descriptive and non-accusatory with real-life names as possible. Because again, I think I know what happened. I could be completely wrong. I could be 100% wrong, and it could be somebody else. But a lot of coincidences that make me think this certain thing. But the police are investigating, and man, how do you steal from an organization that gives to charity? What a piece of shit. Again, we're a business. I'm not going to try to claim that we're only a charity, but we have done a lot for a lot of people for no compensation at all. No monetary compensation at all. And you got somebody stealing our shit. You should be ashamed of yourself. You really should. You're a piece of shit. You are.